if America came to me for counseling, here's what I would say. And before we go kind of through this post, and then I want to get your thoughts on it, what prompted you to decide, one, you had something to say about our country needing counseling, and then two, taking that step to post it when it's in your expertise? What you say is definitely, I think, very valid and comes from a place of having a lot of experience. But anytime you post anything, as you know, controversial or political, the algorithm loves you, but the people hate you. So tell me what your thought process was when you came up with this piece of content that we're about to walk through, and what made you decide you wanted to post it.
Yeah. So I think what came up for me when I posted it, well, before I posted it, what day did I post it? What, you said it. It was September 21st.
It was
Okay.
September 21st. Yeah.
Well, the first, like the prior week before this post, I had been having my own experience of everything happening in this country. And I was in such a state of complete dysregulation. And I will be totally honest with you. I was soaking up everything on my phone. I was doom scrolling my algorithm 100%. I was watching all the news. Every time I picked up my phone, checking the news. I was hate posting on Facebook. I was reading the comment section. I was doing everything I knew was the opposite of bringing my nervous system safety. But like what I was doing was getting caught up in everything that's been going on in our country. And I think my own process of bringing safety to my body and of talking with one of my closest family members, my little brother, who's like my best friend, who also has different political views than I do, connecting with him and talking with him and just listening to a sermon from my church. And then which I know already has like all of this like innuendo around it. I swear, like, I don't want to come across as any kind of way, but there were different things coming up inside of me. And what I realized was it was so much deeper than just the left versus right. Okay. And that maybe if I was feeling this way and I could think about what I was doing that was actually making me feel more unsafe and more disconnected and more hatred and more like anger, then maybe other people needed to hear this as well. And so that is why I kind of thought of what I would do if America was a couple on my couch. And that is why I posted this. So that's the whole synopsis.
I got goosebumps from that, because I think there are probably so many people that will listen to you're doom scrolling, you're obsessed with you. I literally have people in my life that I'm like, you got to shut the news off. You're going crazy. Just shut it off. Take a break. Like the 24-hour news cycle has now turned into like a 1-hour news cycle where every hour there's a new headline, and it's one disaster to another. It's pitting sides against each other. And I think the reason this resonated with me so much in that moment is one, I felt this way since 2016. Like, I felt like we need to realize that like we actually have a lot more in common, and we can't let the news and the media and politicians divide us for their own benefit and profit.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so I had been working, I get into political campaigns and all that stuff. I had been doing that. But what that had really kind of done is taught me to believe that we are divided, but like I think we can come together around economics, right? And so like stuff like that. But then that seemed to not go well. And then, in the last few years, I'm like, oh, maybe we can all come together around like let's make our food and healthy. Like, nope. It's now polarizing to say that we should have food dyes out of foods when we're the only country that does it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the last like 2 years, maybe 3 years, I've turned to sort of like this nihilistic view of like, and people, the way I talk about politics is objectively. And so a lot of people take that to mean that I'm right, or take that to mean that I'm left. And sometimes the people want to have the opposite view of me or the same view. And the reality is like, I'm a human being and I'm nuanced, as we've talked about. And I have a lot of things like if I were to describe myself, I'm a left hippie. Like I'm like a
Ooh.
1960s or 70s hippie who thinks everyone should have health care. We should have a 32-hour work week. And we shouldn't have any homeless people in the richest country ever. And these are free speech. That's what we're founded on. And like all of
Yeah.
these things is like what I think. And it's not right or left.
Exactly.
Like this is just what I
That's me
believe.
too. That's so me
Yeah.
too. If I had to like name it, it would be I would be more in the like a libertarian, if I had to put a label on it. But this past I mean, now we're talking about but like I did vote Democrat this past election. But I would say, yeah, I'm same as you. Like I feel like that's so many people that I know. So many people I know are like, here's what I believe. And I feel like I'm not extreme in any way,
Homeless.
shape, or
Yeah.
form. Yeah,
Well, you're like
exactly.
politically homeless.
Yes, I love that. Yes.
And then this was Charlie Kirk, right? So we don't need to get into that. I'd love to talk about that for 3 hours, but we don't need to talk about that. But I had posted something on Instagram about Charlie Kirk, and I don't like Charlie Kirk. Somewhere along the way, people think I like Charlie. I think he's an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think someone that would go and bully college students who haven't fully formed their life experience to form their politics and then bully them, not my cup of tea. That's what I think he did. We don't have to,
Absolutely.
we don't have, yeah, like whatever. People think what they want. But like, I just posted on social media, and it literally, like, I physically got sick after seeing some of the people that were commenting to me. And I just said, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Heart emoji, my blue heart emoji is like one of my like signature things to your family and loved ones. No violence, talk less, listen more. That's all I posted on a story. And I lost 3,000 followers, which I don't care about losing followers. I lost 3,000 followers within the time that story was up for 24 hours. And then I had like 50, 60-ish messages to me of 95% of them being people being like cruel. And by the way, like I follow politics closer than everybody else. Not everybody else, a lot of other people, I should say. I follow it a lot closer than a lot of other people. And like, I can tell you, there's never a political person that I think should die. Whether we disagree on everything or we agree on everything or they have a horrible intention. I don't think anybody should die for exercising their right to free speech and their politics.
Absolutely.
So don't like the guy, think he bullied college students, don't think that's cool, don't think he should die for it. That's that. But what I realized from these DMs, which is why this resonated so much with me, is I'm like, I'm not here saying anything except someone shouldn't die, and I hope that his family's okay. And that we should listen more to one another because we have a lot more in common. Like, do you see the theme? A lot more in common. But these post messages were coming in, and they were like, unfollow. How could you, support this misogynist? I'm like, I didn't support anything. I just don't support him getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it to me, like what made me physically sick is like the realization that we're so polarized that people are bloodthirsty for their opponent, who's, by the way, not your opponent. They're your freaking neighbor. They're not your opponent. We're not against each other. We're all neighbors. We're all human beings. We're all trying to survive this thing called life. And so that, like, it made me like physically ill. Like I had to talk about it with my therapist because I was like, I am not getting how so many people can be this bloodthirsty that they want someone to die for having different political views from them. And it kind of reminded me, like, I think a little bit of going through like a public divorce at the same time when people picked sides. And it was like very, and at the time I just remember thinking like, wow, there are some people that really hate me and I didn't do anything. Like, it's not like it was a huge scandal or anything, and I just remember like those mean messages I'd get or people starting rumors that I had an affair, like all of this stuff, and just the hate that was coming towards me at that time. And it was like, it just reminded me of that. And it was like, at the time I was like, why would people be so bloodthirsty for me? And now, like, to see that over an assassination, to me, it just made me sick to my stomach. To sum it up, made me sick to my stomach. I don't remember how long. I didn't post that much. And after that for a while because I was just like, it's gross to me that people would cheer
Yeah.
on the death of other people. And then I came across your post.
Thank you for listening to this clip from the full episode of Eyes Wide Open. Please like and subscribe for daily clips and new episodes that drop every Tuesday. I appreciate you.